Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mohammad Asim. I'm working as DevOps engineer. Today I'm going to show you how you can set up the Ingress controller on EKS, AWS EKS Elastic Kubernetes Service. So the Ingress we are going to set up today is the application load balancer. So let's begin. First of all, in my previous videos, you have already seen that we have created the um, EK service via the CloudFormation and using the EKS CTL utility, and the third one is the Terraform. So I've shown you guys three ways to make deployment on AWS uh, with regard to the EKS service. So today I'm going to show you same, but we are going to use the ingress controller and we are going to access our application on HTTPS. So I'm going to, in this video, I'm going to show you guys the exact production ready environment where you can easily access or set up your deployments in Kubernetes. So there are a lot of requests coming with regard to the ingress, especially the application load balancer. So I've decided to create a video. So first of all, let me log in into my machine. Okay. So this is my local Ubuntu machine. I have logged in. I'm using Amazon Linux in my local environment. So let's talk exec into that. Uh, okay, Amazon. Okay, I have to start the machine. Docker start Amazon Linux, and I'm going to take terminal session in it. Delete a terminal session. Okay, so I am in my container. So I have to put my AWS credential for this lab. So this is the access ID. I'm going to show you this because a lot of users giving comment how we can access our infrastructure. So make sure you that you have the EKS permission or administrative privileges. So we are going to use these keys, and these are my keys, and I'm going to create a key pair. Let me go to my scripts, and I'm going to make create a key pair. So let me show you that as well. This is going to create this Cloud Legend EKS PAM file. So if I show you guys, let me log into the console as well. As this is a little bit detailed video, I will try to cover every aspect of the ingress. So please bear with me if you're bored. But this video really helps you how to set up a production ready ingress controller for your application. So let me log in into that uh, console, and if I visit my EC2 section, you will see it's a no key pair. So definitely for this EKSCTL utility command, I wanna also SSH into my EC2 container. So uh, I need that. So what I'm going to do is to use this uh, script, which is basically an AWS CLI command line. And if I refresh it, you will see one key query there. So now I'm going to run the commands. Let me close this, and I'm going to run the commands with regard to the EKS deployment in my console, in my terminal. So this will create EKS cluster, hopefully, if there is space. Let me see US East, which region is choose for subnets deployment. Because sometime you might face an error that there is a space issue, so it will not able to deploy the that particular at the backend. It is actually using the CloudFormation templates automatically for the deployment. So our deployment is going to be done in 10 minutes. So definitely, I've already shown you all this in my previous videos. I will pause the video and we'll be back in a few moments, and then we will deploy the our ingress controller. See, the this is the error is with regard to that because the US East 1E the target availability does not have currently sufficient capacity to support the cluster, so retry. So in such scenario, if I refresh it, so delete and try after a while, or you can mention the subnets other than these mentioned here. So deployment will be done. So anyway, I will be back with my cluster ready environment, and I will show you the our main purpose of this video is the deployment of Ingress controller, and we are going to use the application load balancer. So guys, our cluster is deployed, and now we are going to uh, set up the application load balancer as an Ingress controller. So you have to follow these steps. Okay, and the step one I've mentioned is the tagging. So if you use my Terraform code or use the EKSCTL utility, the first part is already done. So the second part is the OIDC provider. So I'm going to paste this command here. And let me show you that this is successful, plus our EKS cluster is set up and ready. So in the meanwhile, we're going to set up the IAM policy for the application a load balancer as ingress. Let me paste this command as well. Till then, if we navigate to EKS, we will see our cluster is running, and if I go, if I navigate to instances, you will see the two nodes which I have selected are up and running. So uh, this is the ARN which we are going to use for the next command. Let me copy that in the sticky notes. It would be easier to use the sticky notes. So What is this? Should I sign in? Okay, so our next command is to set up the cluster role and cluster role binding. So we are going to uh, set up first of all service account ALB Ingress controller in the namespace cube system, and we are going to apply the second command then. With regard to the ARN of our policy, I will show you that. So it's set up. So we are going to create IAM role for the ALB Ingress controller, attach the role to the service account created in the previous step. So we are going to use the ARN here in this step, and simply I'm going to copy this that would be okay as well. So get rid of this existing one. So let's try this. Okay, so the policy is attaching to this particular ingress role, and so in the next step, what we are going to do is to deploy the ingress controller as a pod. So if I paste this command, might be there is some wrong. Let me copy again. So okay, so if I see kubectl get pods, the namespace should be the cube system, so you will find not anything in the default namespace. So I'm gonna use the namespace cube system. So it is saying error, so it is still restarting. So we have to see what is the reason that it is restarting. So um, you have to see the logs. In fact, at this point, it is restarting. Then we have to open the ingress application load balancer ingress YAML. We are going to edit that, and at the end we see is the pod is still not starting. So I'm going to use this command and I'm going to edit this part. So if I go to this section um, of the arguments, and I'm gonna paste these values. So this is my cluster name. This is not my VPC ID, which I have to find, and I'm gonna edit this now. So for my VPC ID, I will visit my VPC section. So VPC as created by the EKS CTL utility. So I have to uh, copy the VPC ID either from console, or we can use the AWS command line as well. So, but easier for me to use the console. So I'm gonna paste this here. Let me, okay, this not copied. Control V, okay, it's not copying it. Mhm. So no problem, we are gonna paste this one. So we're gonna copy it again and paste it in the console. So that's it. So it is edited, and if we go to the next part of our section, we have to see the logs, or you can see that previous command is the container is in the state of error or it is running. So it is working fine now. You see, it's running. That's what we are hoping to do. So in the next step, okay, it's time to if you go to that ALB section, application load balancer, I mean load balancer section, um, you will see no application load balancer because we have to definitely then deploy the application and set up the ingress. So these are the steps before the ingress you have to follow. I hope you will find this easy. So what I'm gonna do, uh, I'm gonna say let's create a directory in my container, make the ALB ingress, ingress, oops, ALB. So if I cd into it, I'm going to create just two files. Let me show you that. I'm going to set up the Nginx as a backend, which is everything I've provided you. So I'm going to create that Nginx backend YAML. So this is the YAML file. I'm going to create a kind service, and for application load balancer, one thing it is very important to tell you guys that the type must be node port or application load balancer. If you set this to cluster IP, so it will not gonna work. So and further, the other part is the deployment of the Nginx. I'm going to create three containers, and this is the image I'm going to use, and let this thing copy. And if I do vim, I mean you have to simply follow these steps, and your concept is going to be clear what is actually required. I mean if you follow these steps and follow my example, you will be able to deploy any application in Kubernetes and on using and you can use the HTTPS. It is not just on HTTP, and I'm going to show you even the production ready, how you can get the certs from your nodes from sorry from the domain. So I'm going to copy this, and we have this one file. And if I go to the next part, this is the step 2. I am going to create the ELB ingress YAML file. So in this file, the kind is ingress, the metadata is this in default namespace. I'm going to deploy this ingress controller, and this is my domain, saklanmushtaq.com, and I'm going to get certs for my domain. First of all, if I go to the ACM section of my of AWS. Just simply tap the ACM, and it will take you to the certs manager. I'm going to use the DNS validation for my domain certs. So request a certificate and star.sucklearn.mushtaq.com. Okay, so I'm going to use the DNS validation, confirm, and okay. Also, I will show you the what DNS entry required for you to set up this Ingress controller. So, uh, I'm gonna copy uh, this guy, paste it here as for CNAME verification. I'm using the Cloudflare as my DNS provider. So, but we are going to use the AWS certs for this demo. So, if if I go to the if I go to that particular section, it will take about I guess 5 minutes. Till then, for verification, till then we are going to complete our other steps. So these are the annotation I'm using. It is going to use this ACM, which is going to be verified, and the backend service which we are going to use is the Nginx, and this is the host part. So copy this section simply. So we have two files, and for the verification, I have to wait, or let's see, or I'm gonna pause the video and we'll be back. So, but yeah, within 1 minute, these are issued. So simply now I'm going to use the kubectl apply -f command for both these files. Okay. So what it will do, it will create the kubectl get ingress controller, and we will see in a while that uh, ingress controller, if I refresh this part, it is provisioning, and if we go to the listener section, we have two listeners, and you see certs are automatically attached. So what I'm gonna do is uh, this part simply you just need to do this in HTTP section, that uh, simply edit this instead of forwarding the rule. I'm gonna say redirect to 443. Okay, so paste, sorry, save and update. So, the rule. Let me show. Let me go back to you. I forgot to tell you the rule. The rule is with regard to my domain, then@mushtaq.com. So, if I visit the site, I guess it might not cached. So currently it's not accessible because it is in the ALB is in the provisioning state. You see, it is not working. And if I go to the target section, so at the backend, it is using HTTP because the SSL termination is at the application load balancer, and the backend services are going to be using the HTTP, plain HTTP rather than HTTPS. Although you can set up that, but it is not requirement unless I guess you're you're HIPAA compliant or something like that. So if I refresh it, So it is still in the initializing state, and this part is going to be changed from provisioning to active, and in a few moments we will inshallah see our state change from provisioning to active, and we will be able to access, and you will see the Nginx on HTTPS. But before that, let me tell you that you have to put the DNS name in your DNS provider, as I'm using the Cloudflare. And let's say I'm calling this guy Ingress, and I'm going to paste the application load balancer URL here. Okay, so this is the URL. I'm calling this CNAME, and the other guy Nginx is also the CNAME, which is using the ingress.saklanamstak.com. And for your other domains, like if you're using test.saklanamstak, you can put the same name and set up the backend as I've showed you guys, like the same way. So if we go back to our load balancer section, it is changed its state from provisioning to active. So if we go to the targets section, both these two nodes are healthy. So, and if I go and refresh, hopefully we'll see Nginx clanostall.com working. So domain propagation will take a little time. I mean, it is not that you just put the DNS entry and you will able to see the results straight away. You have to wait for a while. So till then, I'm going to pause the video and we'll be back with you guys in a moment. So guys, it has been about 5 to 10 minutes. Let's see our website is available or not. So yes, and see the connection is secure, and excuse me, we are using the verified certs of the AW as Amazon Web Services. So if I refresh, and you will see that uh, HTTPS. So one of the beauty of that AWS application load balancer, that these certs are auto renewable, so you don't have to scratch your head after 3 months, like if you're using the um, Let's Encrypt certificates. Although the process is automated, but still I see a lot of people have issues with regard to that. But if you use AWS certs, I mean, application load balancer setup as an ingress and using the AWS certs, you don't have uh, issues or face any issue with regard to those. So that's it from my side. Hopefully you like it and you enjoyed it. Please like and share my video. I'm really disappointed that I don't have much subscribers, although I have posted a lot of videos and the production ready set up. Although, I mean, in production, yeah, this is what you need to see as your web app deployment. So please like and share my channel as much as you can. So that's encourage me to create more videos. Thank you. Have a nice day.